Hello and welcome to another story time. This particular story is called The World of Streaming and takes place in a world where streaming is the ultimate form of being a celebrity. Streamers are tiered and ranked, and once a year there's a full month of competition to see where you're going to fall for that year. And Storyteller Tay took a nice little adventure into that world and how to deal with being a streamer in the most chaotic and crazy month of that world's year. So, I hope you enjoy it. I had a lot of fun telling it. And let's see.
Let me enter you into a world very, very similar to ours, okay? And you know what? I think I'm gonna make this one. I'm gonna restart. This is going to be, our big one. So I tell a story every time that's within the same universe. So the stories are on the same timeline, have a similar character and all of them. And that's what this one is gonna be. I've decided, okay? So, let me tell you. So I am a storyteller. Okay? I am a storyteller, and as a storyteller, I travel worlds. And each world that I travel to is different, although there are many, many versions of Earth that I've been to. And in a lot of them, actually, I stream. And so I want to tell you guys about a world where I am a streamer, like I am now, okay? And here was the difference in that world. The biggest difference was streaming was a competition. In this world, like right now, me as a streamer, I don't compete with anybody else. Like, I compete with myself and my goals and where I want to be and things like that. In this world, it was all about competing. So even when you were at the top, even when you had fans, even when you had everything you wanted, it was still a competition. You still had to fight to keep your place. You had to fight to keep the people. It was a lot more like one might see, or like one might think about when it comes to like old-timey gladiators, where it's like the person who won the last one, they're still gonna compete in this next one. You know, they might not face off until it's like the last group, but they're still gonna fight. And that's like this world. But with streaming, the streaming was their gladiators. Everybody loves a good competition, and so that's what this one provided, was a good competition. And the version of me that was there before I entered that world, before I got there, because what essentially happens is while I'm there, I like take over for myself, and then once I leave, that version keeps the memories of like the things that I did and that sort of thing. It's like essentially like co-running a body, right? But like I get the control. So it was a competition, and the big one was coming up. The big competition that like let people move. There were like different levels.
It's a beach party. Thank you so much for the follow, and I hope you like it here.
Thank you so much for the follow. I don't know why. Why did my thing not go off? Hello? That's upsetting. My alarms didn't go off. I'm confused. I don't know why it didn't go off. Yeah, but there's supposed to be a thing that pops up on screen, and I'm a little sad that it didn't. Oh well, okay. Back to the story. But hello, welcome, thank you so much for the follow. I'm so happy you're here. We're one step closer to world domination. But it was the big competition. So there were like these different levels. You think about tier lists. You know how there's like the like S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, you know, tier list, right? That's how it worked with streamers. That's how it works with streamers. And so that competition was coming up. They have every other year, it's like a big competition to see who, you know, where you rank. And it all, like, it's an intense month of streaming. It's an entire month that it happens, and depending on, like, your ratio of, like, viewers to likes to comments to things like that, you can be in different tiers. So there's some really tiny streamers who are, like, in the S tier because they have, like, let's say they have, like, 50 followers, right? But all of their videos are getting, you know, 50 plus average views. All of their they're getting a bunch of comments, they're getting a bunch of likes. When they're streaming, they're getting, you know, 50% or better of their followers are watching, things like that. Like, they have really, really good stats. So, like, they get to be S tier for that. TikTok, I am telling stories. It's story time. So that's the big competition, and it was time for the big competition. I got there right at day one of this competition. And I didn't really, like, I don't stream to be competitive. I don't stream, you know, like, that's not what I want. I want to make people smile. I want people to enjoy themselves. I want people to have fun. I want to have fun, you know, that's what we're here for. So to put it all in a competition, I really didn't want to play, you know? I didn't want to play the competition. I used to do sports when I was younger, right? But when people started getting too competitive in the sports, I quit because I didn't want to be competitive. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to play games with my friends, right? So this competition, I didn't want to do it. But this was that world's thing. Like, if I didn't do it, if I didn't participate, if I didn't fight, they were gonna lose their spot, you know? Which is not ideal and not what I want. So I competed and I fought, okay? And the first week was fine, you know, like, I acted like the competition wasn't there. I just had fun. But in the back of my mind, what normally would be your conscience, but in this case was, like, that world's version of myself, was just saying, you need to fight harder. You need to fight harder. We need to do better. We need to get better. Go. Do it. Do it. Do it. And so one of the best ways I learned when I was, like, looking at notes and that sort of thing to compete is to pick one day a week where you just watch your competition, right? You go into their streams or their past videos or things like that, and you watch their content and you see what you can learn from that. You know, what are they doing well at? What are they, you know, and so I did. So I spent the last day of the week I spent watching my competitor, who I'm gonna call Sarah. We'll call them Sarah, okay? And Sarah and myself were both I think it was B tier. B tier sounds right. Which is, you know, pretty good. It's you know, that's a vibe. It's pretty good. And so I was sitting there watching, and there was a moment where I realized that, like, you really do have rivals in that world. Like, it's you against these other people. It's you against these other people, and it's not actually life or death, but that's the vibe that you get. And so one of the things that, like, they did was, like, there were certain, you know, gentleman's rules, that sort of thing, where, like, you don't dox people, right? Like, that's a no-no everywhere. But, like, anything that they've said online, fair game. And so people would do that. People would go and research their opponents and be like, yeah, hey, remember how you jokingly, you know, were like, you know how you were, like, playfully bullying your best friend in chat? Yeah, I'm gonna take that out of context, and it just looks like you were being mean to a viewer. And I was like, whoa, that's hardcore. Like, doing that, going that far, that's hardcore, right? But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I didn't really want to go that far, but Sarah called me out. Sarah took several of those moments and was just like, look, bad streamer, bad person. And it's like, whoa, 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 you know? The real people know better, but like, some rando comes in off the street, they're not gonna know. They're not gonna know because they don't know me, right? So that's when I kind of went, no, it's gotta happen. So, you know, how I handled it. I'm not competitive. I don't want to be competitive. I want to have fun playing games with my friends. So here's what I did. I shot Sarah a message and I went, hey, I think I know a way to settle our rivalry. If you'll have me. And and they messaged back and they were like, what's your idea? I'll beat you in anything. You name it, I win. And I was like, why don't we play Minecraft? And they were confused. They were like, why would we do that? There's no competition that I go, we can make one. We can make whatever competition we want there. Better yet, why don't we take our rivalry there? We keep it only in the world that we create. And, you know, after a little bit of convincing, they agreed. And so for the following 2 days, we both took off of streaming. We both were like, okay, we're not gonna do anything, which confused viewers, like confused everyone, because like this is competition month, like this is make or break month, right? But we got it all set up, and we promoted it, and we got people hyped, we got people excited, okay? So then the day came where we first started, and we hopped on, and we were like, yeah, no, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna lead them on. We're gonna lead them on. We're gonna make them think that, like, yeah, they're gonna think that we're over this, that we're not fighting anymore, that sort of thing. So it's just friendly. We got resources together. We started building a house together. We, you know, that sort of thing. It was so much fun. And I could tell after that first day, you know, we agreed that after streams we would end our streams, and then we would like have a discussion together and talk about how it went, you know, what we wanted to plan for the next day, because even though this was a competition, that didn't mean that like we couldn't try and, you know, figure things out certain ways or that sort of, you know, like we planned it, we, you know, we scripted it, if you will, and not in any, you know, like bad way or anything. We were still part of the competition was there. And the first day it was like snippy remarks still like I don't like you, we're enemies, you're my competition, blah blah blah, right? But there was just a little bit less edge than there had been when they'd been talking about me. And I went, my plan is working. So over the next preceding days, I continued, and after the stream, there would be just a little, we'd continue talking for a few minutes, and there would be, you know, just a minute where it was then like, oh, here's a genuine compliment. It was day 4 before I got a genuine compliment, and let me tell you, I rode that high for the following 3 days, because, like, that's it. I broke under their skin. I broke through their wall. That, you know, that competitive, I don't like you, I will destroy you, I will beat you, that nature was broken just a little bit. And that was my goal. That was the whole point. The other thing that I'd been doing is anytime that we were streaming, I had their stream pulled up. Didn't say anything in chat, was just sitting there collecting points, collecting channel points. So we get to week 2, and at that point, we're civil with each other. We're talking for more than just a quick little check-in after streams. And so I wait until we're at a point where it's like we're having casual conversation and that sort of thing. And the following day, after like the first time where it was like genuine interaction, genuine friendly interaction, I went into their chat when we were streaming, okay? Told my chat, I was like, shh, don't say anything, okay? Like, we're gonna hop over there. I want you guys to watch, like, look what I'm gonna do. And so the first thing that I did is they made a mistake, right? They made a mistake of leaving their hydrations unchecked. So I redeemed 15 hydrations at the same time. Like, just hydrate, 15 times, okay? Okay? And I saw on their face when they saw it, there was just a flash of amusement before you could see the fake anger. And I could tell it was fake because at that point I'd had enough conversations. We had been interacting for 2 weeks, daily practically, for hours at a time. And I was like, I'm breaking through. I'm succeeding. So they drank their entire cup of tea and went, I'll be back. I need to go refill my drink. So, they got up and they were like, totally joking. I could hear the tease in their voice, but it was wonderful, okay? So while they were gone, I did 5 more hydrates. And then I went back to my thing. And I was laughing so hard. It was the best thing in the world. Like, to finally, like, break through that shell and just be like, no. We don't hate each other anymore. It was amazing. It was brilliant. It was wonderful, right? So then, the next day, and see, here's the deals. I didn't realize that there wasn't a cooldown on the snack time. I didn't realize, okay? So the next day, about an hour into stream, Sarah comes into chat and just snack time. Say that 5 times fast. Jeez Louise. 15 of those. 15 snack times, and I went, why? But I did. I stared at the camera as I grabbed a couple bites of 15 different foods and just one snack time, and I stared them in the eyes. It was beautiful. And so the month passes, okay? The competition's over. And during that time, both of us moved up a tier. Because chat found it so entertaining to watch us go from just like, I don't like you, you're meh, to just like actually friendly bickering, having fun with each other, poking fun. Like, that sort of genuine, just like, friendship that developed, chat loved it. Chat ate it up. And that wasn't the plan. That was not my goal with it. My goal was to have fun and stream like I want to stream. But happy coincidences are happy coincidences, am I right? So when I left that world, I had a list of news stories that I got, both from interacting during streams, but also just from the chats with Sarah after. It was really, really amazing, and put such a smile on my face. It was, I think it was the 10th world I'd ever visited, 10th or 11th. It was a really early world when I landed in that world. So to have such a fun interaction on such an early world was so amazing and really, really needed. The end! That's story time!
So how was it? I thought it was kind of fun. Having to go from like enemies to friends sort of vibe is not actually a trope that I'd ever really done before, so it was really fun to try it out, and I am proud of it. I think I did a good job, and I can't wait for my next story time. Goodbye!